beautiful place, right? This here is in Lackamas Park. And I wanted to share a little bit about fine-tuning your sit spot experience. Right, so I have 3. Normally I recommend only having 1. But I am trying to apprentice to 3 different landscapes. There's a meadow and a waterway. There's the deep forest here. And then there's just my backyard. Now when I come here, I first greeted this spot and I say, hello friends. And I personally look at each of these plants that are all around me. And I try to acknowledge them and say, hey, I see you. And I ask permission to sit here. And I share my intention of wanting just to be here, to be in stillness and to learn. And to help me learn how to learn. And then I just sit here. And I take the time to just really arrive. Now typically when you come into a sit spot, it surely takes about 20 minutes, sometimes even 30 minutes, for nature to resume around you and get comfortable with your presence. Now, it's very interesting, the more present you become, and you're not getting lost in your mind and not trying to meditate or anything else, but just being present, you'll notice that nature will feel you sensing into it. It's a very felt experience of nature feeling you feel into the space. Now when that happens, nature will begin to resume around you much quicker. Right? The deer might come out, the birds will regain their normal activities, and so forth. Now what I'm doing here, when I'm sitting, I'm practicing my ears. So I'm listening. What's the farthest thing that I can hear? What's the closest thing? Can I hear any of the little crawlies? My own breath. And I practice deer ears. I'll intentionally go like this, and cut my ears. And I'll go the other side, right? And I use both hands, which I would, but I'm holding my my stick here, my gimbal. And then the same thing is I'll practice suddenly going like this. Normally with both things, I practice owl eyes. Remember, an owl can't move its eyeballs in its socket, so it actually has to turn its head. And then it's looking for the details, so it focuses in and sees one thing, but as it is, it's also being aware of everything in its periphery. So I'll just begin to really focus in and see things, and when I see something, I say, I see you. And then I bring my awareness to my skin. What are all the sensations on my skin? The temperature, the moisture, a breeze, the brush of a fern, right? And so I bring in all these different senses into this space. And I just be here and I just practice seeing, practice listening, feeling the space, feel me. As you do this, you'll start to notice all these little details you've never noticed before. Certain plants you might not have noticed. The relationships of why certain plants grow next to each other. Animals, birds will begin to resume their activity. I really can't speak too much of it in words because it has to be your own personal experience of what becomes revealed to you through this practice. What we're doing here as you practice these sense of meditations, you're learning how to be in a space of presence. Because in today's world, we have been programmed to always be preoccupied in our mind, to always be moving, always be doing something. And it becomes hard for us to become still. It's kind of like when you're spinning around and you get dizzy, but then when you stop, everything still keeps spinning. The same thing is with our mind. Our mind is so active and preoccupied that when we finally come still, that the mind wants to keep spinning and going through its loops. So these are techniques of coming to true presence. And the more present you become with everything around you, it becomes present with you. And you're going to break open into this much more expanded paradigm of being in the world, home. So that's what I'm going to share with Sit Spot and Sit Meditation today. And again, if you are struggling with any of this or have questions, please reach out to me and I'll help you dial this in for you specifically with wherever you are. Okay.